And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And he is just absolutely marvelous to watch throw a football. That's something I could do all day long, watch him throw routes versus air. But he's even more impressive when there are bodies on the field, and he's creating with big throws downfield.
Herbert to throw right away. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's second and a yard. On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. By the skin of their teeth, they are able to convert on 3rd and inches. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Herbert. They set up the screen for Dobbins. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 43. The Chargers' passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that. I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. He'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's second down. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Here's Herbert. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, You got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs. It gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
On the counter now, it's Dobbins. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he is going to have the Chargers first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Here's 2nd and 1 now from the 7.
Here's Herbert. Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
Herbert able to show his wheels as he gets the first.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Dobbins diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And that makes the score 7-0. That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays.
And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by Gardner Minshew, 6th-round selection in 2019 out of Washington State.
And how about this young man? Took the NFL world by storm. As a 6th-round rookie, signature mullet, mustache, but 21 touchdowns for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Great personality, and everyone gravitates towards this guy. Teammates love to win with a quarterback who leads them like that, and fans love to root for a guy who seems just like them.
First carry now for Alexander Madison. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Now 2nd and 9.
Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Here comes third down and 7. Out of the gun is Minshew. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they'd pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll run left with Abdullah. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
They'll go Madison up the middle.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just...
And Minshew with nowhere to go, and they take him to the ground. Oh, Tito Agbanaya getting in there to drop him. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Back deep for L.A. is Darius Davis.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Herbert now. Being chased out left. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now 2nd and 5.
Back to throw here, Herbert.
He'll dump this off, complete to Dobbins.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 42. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 42-yard line. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Again, Herbert. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. That is caught. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 15-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins.
And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. More from L.A. in a moment. Ball sits on the 10, 2nd and 5.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now it's Herbert.
He's got the first down and more.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Will Dissly from 10 yards out.
And the Chargers lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And that'll make the score 14-0. A 10-play drive that time. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Going to begin the drive here with Madison. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and 8.
Off play action, it's Minshew. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
And now after that sack, we'll pause here a moment because someone was shaken up on that play. More from L.A. in a moment.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on third.
And they go play action here with O'Connell.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And the defense coming through on third down, a loss of 7 to bring up fourth.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him.
On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt.
We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over.
And the Chargers offense back out and ready to go.
And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10.
At about the 32.
He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins.
Dances by him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or do they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Justin Herbert looking to pass.
Over the middle and caught by McConkey.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
$14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2. As they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Looking to throw.
Herbert. Now this one finds McConkey.
It'll be a gain of 5. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go. Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys because it's a quick play. And you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch. And then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw.
Pass out left finds Johnston.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That escapes the sack. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
Back to throw. Herbert. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Justin Herbert taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Chargers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Extra point try now from Dicker.
And it is now 21-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it, but the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
The Raiders on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Minshew sets to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Davis now to return it. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Again, it's Edwards. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he is going to have the Chargers' first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Operating from the gun. Herbert, short throw to Disley. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. A give for Edwards running right. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42.
That play over before it got anywhere thanks to Christian Wilkins.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Now on 2nd and 13. Herbert, short throw to Disley. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Herbert. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end.
Now 4th down, so the Chargers trot out J.K. Scott.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback, but you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to the huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
That one complete to Trey Tucker.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
They'll go play action here with Minshew.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. What good hands there defensively. It's 2nd down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Running from the gun, it's Abdullah. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Third down and 6.
Looking to throw it, Minshew. And now a fumble. The ball's out and picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down a defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. That really sets them back. A loss of 6.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A give up the middle to Dobbins.
And a short gain down to about the 33.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The Chargers on third down, as close to automatic as you can get. 9 out of 10. This will be 3rd and 15. Herbert steps away to his left. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line.
Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack.
And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
And his kick is right there. It's good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You've worked so hard to hold him to a 3-point kick. Now you're giving him the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down.
Dobbins running out of the gun.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
43 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Throwing middle, and it's complete.
And the Chargers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield and broke down the defender. Made him
what do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. And then he curls back inside for the completion.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown.
Justin Herbert.
A 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Chargers are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you've got to have great vision, and you've got to remain calm when things break down in the pocket. Both of those traits are on display there. He surveys the situation, sees the middle of the field open, so he's just going to step up and take it himself. Very well done there.
Dicker down to tack on the extra point.
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out.
Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
They start the drive with Abdullah.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
They go back to Abdullah on first.
And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
2nd down and 8.
Here's Minshew. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Here's 3rd and 3.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Here's A.J. Cole now,
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line.
The Chargers offense and Justin Herbert getting set for this next drive. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely.
It got his man complete.
And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down on the other side of midfield.
A big play there for L.A. 46 yards.
And not only does Justin Herbert have one of the biggest arms in the game, I don't know that anyone throws a prettier pass. Every time he throws the football, I just want to slow it down and have it be a highlight type of a throw. And oftentimes it is just.
And now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to get a review of that last play. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Here's a give to Dobbins.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Herbert under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Malcolm Kuntz, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
A tough spot here. 3rd and 15.
Back to throw. Herbert.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 25-yard line. Looking to throw. Herbert.
He's got another one to Johnston.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Here's Herbert. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown.
Josh Palmer
from 8 yards out.
And the Chargers have taken a 5-touchdown lead. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Extra point try now from Dicker.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Josh Palmer. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now Minshew. That one's complete out to Michael Mayer.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
They'll look to throw here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Good work by Minshew there to pick up the first.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game, and that continued with that first down run.
His throw incomplete. Jacoby Myers, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
This now a 3rd and 4.
Back to throw here. He goes underneath to Abdullah.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And they will remain well behind. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
The Chargers were led in the first half by their star quarterback, Justin Herbert. He threw 2 touchdown passes, and he ran for 2 more. He did it all, as his guys were putting up points in bunches.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Second half starts with a run by Abdullah. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
On the handoff, it's Madison. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Well, just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter, I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen, did not let him get downfield.
Here's a give to Madison running right. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after him.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A give up the gut to Abdullah. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They go with Abdullah again. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Madison running on 1st down. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. On 2nd and 9, Minshew. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one, because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
The kick by Carlson is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And fighting down inside the 25. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Chargers offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Charger drive about to get going. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And he can muster only a couple here to the 24.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Back to throw here, Herbert.
That is caught.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 22.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd down and 6 now. Another run here with Dobbins.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
60 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Now a handoff for Dobbins.
And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Here's 2nd and 3.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
Dobbins will take this into the end zone for a Charger touchdown.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Dicker now to tack on the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr.
And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
They'll run. It's Dobbins.
And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Powers through. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
3rd and 5.
A shotgun snap for Herbert.
He finds Johnston. That's complete.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
Now it's Herbert. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
An option handoff here to Dobbins.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a third one.
Yeah, now from this spot on third down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Justin Herbert taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Chargers just continue to roll.
Well, that's what you want to see from your quarterback when it's a goal line situation. A guy who's not afraid to tuck the ball, give his body up, and get into the end zone. That ought to inspire his entire team.
Extra point try now from Dicker.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. That time a 6-play drive, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want, and other times the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
Again, it's Abdullah. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
That one deep for Marshall.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Credit on that one defensively goes to Asante Samuel Jr.
So 1 first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on 3rd down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line.
The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like the empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going. Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
2nd and 7.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. In motion, the tight end. From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run. And the Chargers are going to get themselves a fresh set of downs here.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert.
Throw over the middle, and it's caught by Johnston.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Forced out to his left. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Justin Herbert taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Chargers get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
42 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Another carry now for Madison. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. 2nd and 11.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Minshew sets to throw. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for 1st downs instead of airing it out.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
11 more on that one and another 1st down.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game, as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Madison. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Marshall. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin, 4th quarter, you're going. Carlson able to put this one through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The home team's offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Now this one finds McConkey.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and now we've got a 3rd and 4.
Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
Here is 3rd down and 4.
In motion goes the tight end. Herbert now.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
A give up the middle to Dobbins.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory.
88 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 2. They'll go again with Dobbins. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
First down marker at the 5. It's 2nd and goal.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Here's Herbert. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Herbert.
Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Will Dissly, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game.
And the Chargers continue to pour it on here in the fourth. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense ready to go. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Looking to throw it, Minshew. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
But when this game is done, the credit will go to the consistent pressure on the quarterback as a huge cause of this win. Most teams are happy if they get a few of these games per year. You know they're going to watch this tape over and over, try to identify what's working, and keep it going.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Minshew. Open man right side, Myers. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
The Charger drive about to get going.
CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after score, and a lot of times we use the term blowout for a lopsided ball game. This has kind of gone past that. I think we're in historic territory right now.
You nailed it. Historic territory. Perfect phrase for what we are watching. If this were a movie, what kind of rating would we put on it? Who would you allow to watch what we're watching right now? Let's hope this one gets over fast, because this game well decided a long time ago.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy,
But they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins.
He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now here come the Raiders.
Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
Here's Minshew. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Khalil Mack able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Nightmare of a game continues for this quarterback, brought down with the game already decided. This sack adds insult to injury for him. Multiple turnovers, down by multiple touchdowns, now dumped early in a drive in the final quarter.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Looking to throw. A dump off for Abdullah. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And out will come the offense as they take over.
So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
Up the middle, here's Edwards.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
They'll go back to Edwards on 1st down.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
They run once more with Edwards. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there.
On 3rd down, here's Dobbins.
And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot.
Well, this was a blowout supported by both sides of the ball today, Charles. It would be easy to look at the offense and say, man, they were clicking, and they were, but don't forget about the effort by this defense as well.
Yeah, they weren't going to let up just because the lead was safe. They wanted to play as big a part in this game as their offense did in making this blowout. They needed to be noticed as well, and they played accordingly.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Southern California, so long, everybody.